right, welcome to Primos for Life, the wrestling podcast made for the fans, by the fans. Como siempre, yo soy Eddie, el niño vaque. We got Ariel, the Ecuadorian dream bisueta, and we are your self-proclaimed, undisputed co-host tag team champions of the world. And in tonight's episode, we're diving into WWE's WrestlePalooza. Ariel and I break down the full PLE card, giving you our previews and predictions for every match. So, como siempre, sit back, grab a snack, and let's get it on! What's going on, my primo?
What's going on, dude? How are you?
Good, man. Good. Just ready to get these picks going.
WrestlePalooza, WrestlePalooza, it's paloozing at WrestlePalooza.
Which, by the way, can we agree that that's a really dumb name for a wrestling event? You know what I mean?
I mean, probably no worse than WrestleMania at the time.
I don't know. I like WrestleMania. It just feels right. You know what I mean? But
Well,
WrestlePalooza, it just doesn't sit well. You know, I don't know. I'm just a hater.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of reasons to be annoyed right now with some stuff in the WWE and stuff. So it's annoying. So I feel you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Bueno, just to let our listeners know what's going to happen in this episode. So we are going to do a WrestlePalooza previews and predictions like we normally do with the upcoming PLEs. We would normally jump into Raw and SmackDown, but to be honest with you, the last two episodes of Raw in the past 2 weeks have kind of been lackluster. You know, the stories are all over the place, and the only importance of any of those episodes have been just a setup for WrestlePalooza. So we're not really going to get into those. The one call out that I do want to address, though, was SmackDown, which Sami Zayn, man, guy had the most incredible match of the week. You know, since we started doing that, definitely goes to Sami Zayn versus Rey Fenix for the U.S. title, which, you know, to our, you know, surprise, right? We were like, when we first saw this, we were like, Rey Fenix, you know, why Rey Fenix? But then the news broke later on in the week that Andrade has left the company due to a wellness policy situation. And
Andrade is gone. No.
So that's definitely reason number one to be upset with WWE right now. But hey, I guess it is what it is, you know?
We don't need any more. There's already so many reasons.
Yeah.
So many reasons.
Yeah, man. So so we're not going to jump into that, but we are going to jump into these picks. We're going to go down the card. We're going to give our predictions, and then we're just going to have a little conversation on why we love or hate these matches on the card and go from there. So let's get it going, my primo. So apparently...
Well, hang on.
Oh, yeah?
Before we start. Before we start. Let me be annoying.
Yes.
And figure and ask.
Because I'm usually the annoying one.
Because this is you.
So thank you.
Okay. Have we figured out where we're watching this?
Yeah, on ESPN.
It's on. Okay. So now I do not pay for the ESPN or ESPN2 that comes on the cable box. I have ESPN Plus.
Right.
Can I see it?
Yes.
Okay. So I just gotta log into my ESPN Plus, and it should be there.
It should be there. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can continue then. I'm trying because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I looked at Amanda and I'm like, I don't even know if I can watch this. I'm about to go downstairs. I'm gonna do my prediction thing, and I'm no idea if I can watch this tomorrow. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, what time is it? I'm like, because they're back in the States, so it's not, during the day. I'm like, oh, it should be like 7 o'clock. Sure enough, 7 o'clock. And then, because I asked the Google machine, and so it's spouting off to me in the kitchen, and it's spouting off to me in the kitchen, and it's like, yeah, this time on ESPN, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
Are you talking about Alexa? Are you talking about?
yeah. I can't. I don't want to say it because so many things in my house will start going off. So it's the letter O and then the letter
Yeah,
K, and then you say yeah. It's because I have it all over my cameras. Like, oh, let me
it's
see.
everywhere.
Oh. So if you say it like step by step, so while I'm doing the dishes or something in the kitchen, I'll be like, hey, what's the weather? Hey, what time is WrestlePalooza tomorrow? So it was like WrestlePalooza is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Da, da, da. And I'm like,
Yeah,
great.
yeah, okay.
I don't know if I can watch it yet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Apparently, I can. Great. Now we can continue. Sorry to our listeners that and I went off a tangent there, but he kind of brought me there. But yes, we can see it. Great.
Yeah,
ESPN Plus. Good.
yeah, ESPN Plus, and it will be the first of its name, WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis, and but which again I think is the stupidest name ever. But let's go on and proceed. Um, Now you brought this to my attention.
Right.
Apparently, the John Cena match and Brock Lesnar will be the first match to kick off the evening. Is that right?
Well, what I saw, it was supposed to be the main event in the
Right.
article that I read as per I want to say like Bleacher Report. Give credit where credit's due. Unless it was something else. Then I'm sorry.
Then my bad.
They said that it was supposed to be the main event, but they moved it to the opening match.
Mm,
So I don't know if they're once again to your point of what Michael said, setting the tone. But I mean it's Lesnar Cena.
yeah.
A lot of juice for this. A lot. So I think, you give the people a pop early. Now everyone's energized. Everyone just saw this match go down. Stuff like that. So I think it's a good call. If in fact it happens. Now, there's been many times that you and I have sat here in prediction episodes and been like, okay, here's a card that we've seen. And then as soon as the card goes up,
Yeah.
the first one is wrong. And we're like, all right, that goes out the
Yeah.
window.
Thank you.
So, but yeah, that's what, as far as I've heard and I've learned.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Well, yeah. Well, since we're starting off with that match first, then I'll go ahead and jump into it since you are getting our notes, our handy dandy notebook ready. My thing is, I feel like the logical response here will be for John Cena to win, right? Because obviously, a lot of people are not big fans of Brock Lesnar right now. But even if you took that out of the equation, it would just make more sense for John Cena to end the last, 6 or 7 of his appearances on a winning streak, unless, and this is where the fantasy fun pick would be for me,
Okay.
unless Brock Lesnar does win and he just, basically dives into the heat that he already has based on the allegations and things like that by beating John Cena down to a pulp where like we feel so bad for John Cena and we hate Brock Lesnar so much more that this story will continue at some point where like, he's like the like for lack of a better way of saying it, he's like not the final boss, but the final boss character in a video game
The final
where
boss.
he will face Lesnar again to get retribution in his final matches. I mean, that's just me reaching, but that's where my
Okay.
mind went.
All right. So your logical pick is Cena and your fan pick is
Brock.
Brock Lesnar.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's my train of thought there. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. The logical pick, I agree with you. I think it's Cena. I think it kind of has to be,
Right.
and
Exactly.
it's his farewell tour. You can't do this. He's got 6 appearances left.
Yeah.
So you include this one, there's 5.
Right.
And then there's definitely the one at the Garden,
Hmm.
right? So that's 4, right?
Right.
After that. So you guys are thinking he's not gonna be taking many losses, and he's probably not gonna be he may not be wrestling in some of those appearances. Maybe 1 or 2
Right.
that's like a random SmackDown just interview or whatever. So I think it has to be Cena in terms of just saying goodbye,
Right.
him vanquishing all his demons, all of his greatest conquests,
Mhm.
just write the story. My fan is also Cena.
Oh.
I don't want to see Brock Lesnar. I don't. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm done. I've never been a Lesnar guy. This whole thing's annoying. I'm done. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna Cena on both. I'm not I'm good. I want it out. Done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny that you say that because, in looking at this card, when I first saw it, I was like, man, this card is very predictable. I feel like we could call every match perfectly because of storylines, because of momentum, etc.
Right.
But the only thing that's like sticking out to me like a sore thumb is like it's the first PLE on ESPN. It's the first of its namesake, WrestlePalooza. So something absurd, something crazy, whether it's like a unexpected return, whether it's like, breaking kayfabe and it's like, oh, they're not wrestling. Like John Cena's left for dead on the ramp, bleeding out. You know what I mean? Like I feel like something extreme in that regards should or is going to happen. And that's
Right.
where my mind went. But it might not be this match. It may be the addition of a new member for the Vision. It could be, the person that we thought was going to win the women's championship doesn't end up winning at all. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? So that's
Right.
why something big has to happen for it to feel important, because you're
Mhm.
also going in against an AEW All Out, which if you look at that card, I actually want to see all those matches. So who knows, man? Yeah,
Well,
just
I mean,
some
I
thoughts
think you're
there,
right. I think you're right. It's like when we were talking about the Saturday night's main event, 2 main events ago, and I was like, something has to happen. It's a Saturday's main event because the first one they brought Cody Rhodes back.
Right.
Then the next one was the injury angle to Seth Rollins, where it ended up becoming that. And then the next night was the Roman Reigns return on Raw, which is why I was like, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. I think that just it, it makes sense. You're
Thank you. You're right. Blah blah blah.
like, because you nailed it. You nailed it. Like I'm gonna be just hammering home your point.
Yeah, let's go. Eddie's on fire today. All right, so then let's jump into the next anticipated match of the card. We got the reunion of the Usos versus the Vision of Broncito and Bron, and they're gonna go in a classic tag match. Which
Mhm.
the floor is yours, my man. What do you think
All
is going
right.
to be the outcome, the logical
Okay.
outcome?
Logical outcome here is I'm gonna go with the Usos.
Mm.
Gonna go with the Usos with interference from La Noche. Again,
Mm.
because
Right.
tag match. Now, this could also be the backfire of where Noche interferes and to help them win, but it
Right.
costs, and then So, but I'm gonna go Usos here with the Noche because they've been on the short end of the stick. They're beefing with each other. Jay's just spearing, Noche for no reason. Big
Right.
Jim don't want to listen to nobody. You ain't got the Ulafala. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff happening.
Right.
So, but I think they'll get the W here, and something crazy will happen at the end. Fun pick, I think, is also the Usos. I think,
Okay.
like I said, the vision is we're getting a lot of time because it's funny. I was watching Netflix in the kitchen. I had it on in the background while I was, moving around, and Amanda was cooking. And the Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, AJ Lee, CM Punk, I think was on. And she was like, "Wow, this is a long time on this one thing." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm
Yeah.
like, so they're stuffing Vision down our throats. So fun pick, I think, is also them just to kind of just be like, "All right, Vision, like,
Back. Okay.
yeah, man,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so my logical and fun pick is going to be the Vision, and here's why.
Oh,
There,
weak sauce, man.
but it's because
Come
it's logic.
on,
It makes sense.
bro.
Yeah, because hear me
Makes
out.
sense. Of course it
So,
makes sense.
here's why. Right? A, the Vision has momentum. B, like you can make the argument that since Jay and Jimmy have not been a tag team, they've missed a step. It's not going to be like riding a bicycle, because clearly we've
Okay,
seen this
okay,
on
okay.
Raw. Like to your point,
Right,
yo, you're not the boss of anybody. Yo, you're like, why are you leaving? We're supposed to have the noches back and da 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 da. And there's already friction there. So you're gonna have the excuse of like, oh yeah, these guys have missed a beat because they haven't been tagging in such a long time. Because now Jay is a superstar. And not to say Jimmy isn't, he is, but obviously Jay has reached the pinnacle of the
right,
business, and Jimmy hasn't. So,
right.
but to your point, I do think it will involve La Noche, and I do think, and this is where the fun booking happens, right? What if it was a situation where yes, he comes out to help the Usos, but it backfires and indirectly gives the Vision the win? Or what if he is the new member of the Vision? What if he pulls a Randy Orton and joins the Wyatt family just to get closer to Bray, to get closer to that championship or that storyline, and in this case, just to get closer to Seth to get his hands on that belt, finally winning that thing. Because if you can't beat him, you got to join them, right? So that's where my mind went.
So
Yeah.
it's a curve right there, my man. You went down the road, took a left, then made another left, back to right. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
No, I mean, fantasy storybooking, that makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
Because he's done it for so long. It's a good long play to get to a finish and him have it be the way he wins his belt. Yeah. I I don't think I don't think it's that thought out. As sadly as that sounds,
Yeah.
I don't think it's. I think that's almost too much of a curve. It's almost too good, you
Yeah. I
know,
know. I know.
because it's it's because it does make so much sense, and it would be a great long play to get everybody. But with the way that things are being run and the way that certain storylines have been finished and talent has been utilized. The wasting of the New Day. With a awesome heel turn that turned into a terrible, terrible heel run is mildly saved now because they're still kind of involved and they had a thing with Penta on Raw, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's
Yeah. Well, that's why it's a fantasy, right? Because I feel like
yeah.
that'd be the move. But you're right. I
Yeah,
mean,
but I think they're just he's. It doesn't seem like Hunter's. I don't know. And maybe once again, it's like we said. Maybe it's pressure from TKO.
right. And the only reason why I'm throwing out these curveballs is because, like I told you, something big has to happen. So that's like
Right.
the big moment in that match. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, man. So again, I think the Vision wins, both logical and fan pick. Because of the momentum factor. So now,
Vision.
while you jot that down, we got the next match on the card, which is Io Sky versus Stephanie Vacher for the Women's World Championship. And to be honest with you, man, because you went last on the last one, I honestly think the logical and the fun pick would be Io Sky to win. Yeah, I know, bro. And believe me, and I think the reason why I say this is because the 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 predictable choice is Stephanie Vaquer to win because
Right.
you brought her up to the main roster, you brought her up to be that superstar level, and why not give it to her on this new PLE, right? But I feel like storytelling wise, the exciting factor would be Io Sky winning because people sleep on Io still. She's been champion. She's proven to beat Bianca and Rhea and all these
Right.
people. And, if you allow that to happen here, now I feel like you've undone everything you've worked so hard to protect her to be. So I
Right.
feel like Io winning this will solidify her dominance. And then maybe at Survivor Series or the next major PLE, you have her drop it to Stephanie, or you know what I mean? Or like have Stephanie win it in a triple threat, whatever the
Right.
case is. But I feel you can't give this woman, Stephanie Vaquer, who's only been in the main roster or in WWE, really just an amazing 11 month run and just give her the keys to the kingdom right away. I just think that's too much. You know what I mean? So you got to protect Io. So that's why I think Io is the choice here. Fun and
Okay.
logical.
All
Because
right.
everybody would hate it, actually. That's why it's fun.
Wow. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. No. It's all right. Logical. I'm gonna go Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah.
I mean, the logical play here is her for the reasons that you said. Something big has to happen.
Yeah.
right? Something big has to happen. This is her first thing in this new PLE. They want to get off the ground as big as one of the big four, you know. So I think this is one of the big things because this is a big thing without being like a big return or something like that. But this is the crowning of her, you know. So I think for that, and also because, especially on Raw this past week, you saw Rhea Ripley approach her and say, "Listen, I don't care who wins, you or you, I'm coming for you." You know, and on the other side of it, you currently have Io still involved in the soap opera that is the Kabuki Warriors. So
Yeah.
you already have your storyline split post this match, which is why I think this match works because you're able to kind of go both ways with it and kind of move aside. Because what happens is if Io loses, or when Io loses, in the logical term, when Io loses, now Oscar could be like, see, you can't win, you needed help, da 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 da, and then
That's good.
bang, implosion. Then on the other side, you had Rhea already come up and say to Stephanie, coming, just so you know, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And it gives a good little feud there. So for that, I'm gonna go logical over care. And for fun, I agree with you. Io Sky winning is the fun one. Yes, because it's chaos. Ah, yes, chaos. So I go Io Sky on that. But logical, I go with care.
Wow. You know what? But I not to say that your answer was simple, but I'm just saying the simplicity of that level of thought makes sense. And I like your choices. I just,
Right,
again, I'm just riding the momentum of like something big has to happen, something crazy
right,
has to happen. And I'm just
right,
giving
right.
that factor to every single one of these matches.
You're like,
So
what's gonna
that's
be the
why.
big thing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Who's he gonna set on fire?
Right, exactly. Because again, I as a fan, you looked at this card and you were like, "Oh my gosh, like he's gonna win. They're gonna win. They're gonna," you know what I mean? Like, but I want chaos. That's exactly you're right. I just want to watch this and be like, "What just happened? It's only been 20 minutes into this PLE. Like, what? You know what I
Right,
mean?" So
right.
that's what I want. You know,
Yep.
but
No, listen, dude, it's fun. Chaos is fun sometimes, man. When it's controlled chaos,
yeah,
it can be fun. So, but yeah, no, I agree with you. But that's why, yeah, you're looking. I think you're looking for that big moment everywhere, which is why I think Vaquer is the moment in that match
yeah,
because there's nothing else you can really do. Because I mean, there's no one who Vaquer has had a match with that's going to come back and like turn on her and cost her the belt. You know, there's not that kind of a feud. And he already has everything built in with the Kabuki Warriors and Asuka. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So the next match on the card, and remember, you're up now. It's Cody versus Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. Um,
Cody,
yeah, man.
Cody
What are you
Rhodes,
thinking on this one?
Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes, you know what I'm doing, man. He's the guy, bro. I gotta lose. He just got it back from Cena. The only reason they took it off him because it was Cena, and you had to give him 17. This hasn't been built up hype wise enough to have the belt change hands. So I think um, Cody wins, but I think something happens at the end where Drew snaps and like now we start drawing out a feud a little bit longer, perhaps. But I go Cody Rhodes. Logical, fun. Yeah, Cody Rhodes. He can't take the belt off. I didn't put on Drew. Like I said, this hasn't been that huge of a build,
Right.
right? So that's me.
Yeah, yeah. No, I concur with that. I think Cody wins logically, and the fun pick also he wins. But I think the way that he wins is Drew is about to do something dastardly, something sinister to hurt Cody again. And
Dastardly.
this is where I know, right? This is where Randy Orton gets involved and he comes out and helps. And this is where you take the attention off of Cody for a little bit. And now you start the feud or the issues with Randy and Drew again, like that storyline. Almost like the whole thing with Damian and Drew. It's like,
Right.
unfortunately, I hate that they put Drew in this position, but I mean, that's what it's calling for again. So I
I
think,
mean, he needs something to do,
right,
and you need someone who can play that role well.
right.
Drew McIntyre has shown he can.
exactly. So that's where my mind went. So I agree, Cody for both, and I
Mhm.
think this is the start of a Randy Drew storyline, chapter 2, you know?
Okay, so that's the crazy thing in that match. The
I
return
mean,
of
that's
Randy
not
Orton.
crazy.
What's
Actually, that's
happening?
the predictable thing in that match.
Well, that's a good point. But I mean,
Yeah,
and if you're going that all the matches are just gonna go normal and no interference, then that would be the crazy thing.
yeah, yeah. All right.
All
And
right.
then we get the final match of the evening per the card, because there's always a swerve, right? Per the
Mhm.
card, we have CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, aka the other half of the Vision. And you had the last one, so I'll go on this one.
Mhm.
The logical pick would be Punk and Lee winning,
Mhm.
allowing Lee to have the pin over Becky, though. I want to call that out
Mhm. Okay.
because you can't have her come back and get a loss right away in her first match back ever. But you also want to build up that beef between her and Becky to eventually lead to a story where AJ Lee takes that belt off of her at some point,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know. So
Okay.
that's the logical pick. The fun
Okay.
pick is to crap on everybody's, parade would be for the Vision to win and Becky get the pin on AJ because they'll have the final moments because Punk and Lee have had too many final moments, and I feel
Right.
like this part of the Vision needs that win to come on top on this one.
Mhm. Yep. Come on top. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, what do you think, bro?
So I'm good. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I'm gonna go with the logical pick is CM Punk and AJ Lee. Um, I think it just makes. I mean that's because it just makes sense. You can't have her take the loss here. But my thought process is different than yours. My thought process is, she signed a multi-year deal already. So I think they win, but Punk gets the pin over Rollins. So saying, I've pinned you, I can get a title. I want a title shot. Because there's nothing else really right now. Noche is kind of involved with the other fools in the Vision and everything else that's happening here. So I think that's where it happens. I think because he pins Rollins. Now, maybe it's because Rollins moves Becky Lynch out of the way and AJ hits him or something, whatever it
Mm.
is. But I think that's what kind of build to the storyline. And then the fun bit, I agree with you, is just to kind of be like, hey, everyone, Because even during the thing, like I said, when Amanda was watching the thing, we had Netflix on in the back, and she was like, when, when at some point, Sam Punk's like, no, he's like, no, nobody says that. Nobody says you're the best in the world, Becky. Nobody does. And then he's like, I say it, I say it. And
Yeah.
she's like,
Yeah.
Jesus, this crazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that would be fun. But so I agree with you on both counts. But I think the one difference is because you can still have AJ Lee say to Becky Lynch, "Hey, my husband won, and I had you. Your husband saved you, or something like that. So I want a shot." Like so, but I think Punk gets the pin over Rollins kind of belt.
Yeah. 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 No, exactly. All right, man. And then that's the anticipated card, right? But as you know, there's always like that swerve match, that last minute match. And that match is rumored to be Tiffany versus Jade versus Naya in a triple threat. Um, Now, being that I went last on the last match, I want to get your thoughts on this. If this match happens, who do you think ends up winning and why?
Here, I'm going to give two answers, but
Mhm.
I'm not going to do logical and fun. I'm going to do if this match is for the championship or if it's not.
Mm.
Because if it's for the championship, I think it stays with Tiffany Stratton.
Mm.
I think it does. If it's not for the championship, I'm going to go Jade Cargill. I'm going to say,
Mm.
but if it's for the belt, if the winner gets the belt, we're going Tiffany. But if we're doing just a three-way dance and da da da, then I'm going to go Jade.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm so over Tiffy time. I've been over it. So
Mhm.
at this point, I'm okay if Naya wins. Like, and I never thought I'd say that.
Wow.
Like logically
Wow.
between the three of them, I think Naya should win and she should be the champion.
Wow. He's going what is happening here?
But the fun pick would be Jade. It's just that you got to understand, right? I mean, we're going from like best and worst case scenario, right? And like Tiffy to me is almost like I hate to say it this way, but like a Jey Uso in the sense of like you got over, people like you, you're awesome, cool. But it was almost like the weight of the title was just too much on your shoulders. And I feel like you know, listen, let me put it to you this way. If you're able to take it off of Damian Priest and Zelina Vega very quickly because of their hiccups, well,
Right.
Tiffany's had some hiccups and it's time to take it off of her. I mean, let's be fair, right? That's one.
Yep.
Two, but between the three, the veteran there is Nia Jax, and she
Yep.
deserves to get the championship because she's not the one who's green. She's not the one, and that's what brings me to Jade. Jade is still like I don't know what it is. It's like what it feels like watching Jade wrestle. And don't get me wrong, she's
Mm.
gotten really good. She's gotten better. Every time she gets in that ring, it definitely gets better and better. But
Okay.
she makes me nervous in the sense of the way Ronda Rousey made me nervous when she would wrestle the way that
Mm.
she would flip over people
Yeah.
unnaturally. Like when I say unnaturally, I
Yeah.
mean like in real life, that's how you flip people over. But in
Right.
wrestling, that's not how you do it. You know what
That's
I mean?
yeah, because they have to find a safe way to land. In real life, you flip
Right.
people over to hurt them. You don't want
Yeah.
them to land squarely on their back. You're trying to get them to land on the side and injure that shoulder and do stuff like that. Yeah, of course.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that no,
So
you're 100% right
so
there.
that's where my mind's at. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
man.
Yeah, no, I mean, uh, I think it could go either way. But
Yeah.
I know you're over the tippy time situation and everything.
Yeah.
But
Been over it.
I just I think if it's for it, they'll once again you need a build. You need a build. I don't think you got a big enough build for a triple threat match. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but again, this is why it was the rumors. So Um, but overall, I mean, regardless of which one you're watching, whether you're watching WrestlePalooza or All Out or both,
Or
at the end of the day,
for
it's a
both.
fantastic Saturday for wrestling fans.
Now, is All Out going to be on HBO Max or is that going to be on?
It's gonna be streamed by HBO Max, but it is at a pay-per-view level. So
It's
you
an
do have to
add-on, so it's
pay
like
through HBO
$30
Max, right, to watch it.
HBO Max.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, there's no different than it being like a
Yeah,
UFC
no, I know.
pay-per-view on ESPN. Like, you know what I mean? You can watch
Yeah,
it once it's passed, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man. Pero yeah, that's pretty much it, Primo. I mean, I think I'm going into this, like just to give you my final thoughts, like I'm going into this WrestlePalooza kind of like, okay, I hope I think it's gonna be predictable. But deep
Right.
down, the wrestling fan in me is like, but I hope it's not predictable. Like give me something like shock worthy and be like, oh my gosh, like I'm glad I tuned in. I'm glad I'm watching this instead of All Out right away. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have
Right.
to give priority to one or the other. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Right.
just give me a reason to stick around for the next 2-3 hours as opposed to like making me flip channels and see the Hurt Syndicate beat up, whoever they're gonna beat up, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
It's funny because yeah, you took it right out of my head. I'm past couple weeks have been so lackluster
Yeah.
in terms of and and one again, it's my opinion. It's my opinion, and if you don't agree with it, I'm sorry. I can just say, to me, it just seems like it hasn't been as up and as big as it's been before, and then like just with the good storylines and everything, feels like things are kind of being forced. And we've had the conversation many times about it. So I am the same way as you are. I'm expecting it to just, to be whatever, but I'd like to see something fun to happen because the fan in us wants to be engaged. It wants to be thrown off. It wants, to jump out of our chair, to have that moment of wow, and that's ultimately why we watch,
Yeah.
to have those moments. So I see exactly what you're saying, and I agree with you 150 million%,
Yeah.
because it's it seems like everything's just kind of been going, through the motions, to kind of get you to the next one, and once again, because they're throwing so many things our way, it's you know,
Yeah,
it's just a lot. So I don't know. I'd like to be surprised. I don't think I will be, but we'll see. Hopefully, man, we can only tune in and find out.
bro. That like, and I love how you said it, that the last couple of episodes of Raw, especially, have been so lackluster, bro. Tell me how last Friday's SmackDown and AAA Mania World Collide, that Friday alone in wrestling was fantastic. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
moving aside the Sami Zayn match with Ray Phoenix on SmackDown, they were brilliant for getting like a luchador in your head for that, because
right,
then once
yeah, yeah,
SmackDown was over and then you watched AAA and you saw
right.
Dominic win the championship and the Finn Balor and Mr. Iguana match. I
Mr.
mean,
Iguana Match.
but I think the crazy part about it is like the storylines in Worlds Collide are a lot more interesting right now than what else
Hmm.
is going on the main roster. And what I mean by
Right,
that, in case our listeners, didn't catch it, and I told you about this, that this is the thing that really stood out to me for Triple Mania. The fact that it was the New Day versus Psycho Clown and Pagano and Psycho Clown get the win. Fantastic match. And then the element of surprise, boom, the Wyatt Six comes out. And you're sitting
right,
there like, what? What are they doing
right,
here? What business do they have here? And they
right,
destroyed them. And then at the end, the final image of that segment was Wyatt Six with all 4 tag belts in their hands.
right,
And you're sitting there, you're just like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next. But that was simple. That was just like no announcement, no build up, no this and that. It was just like, hey, let's throw this
right,
and see if it blows up the way that we think it is, and boom,
right. And it
you
did.
know.
And
So,
it
and
did.
it did, right? Because I'm still talking about it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. But overall, like I said, it's still going to be a great weekend for wrestling fans. We're going to have a good time watching it and probably discussing it right after, and just
Right.
see if it pays off.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'll be here Saturday night watching it. So, well, if I can on ESPN
Yeah,
Plus. So, if not, then I'll be crushing it out and trying to find a back route. So, but hopefully, it will be fun. Take this time to thank all of our primos, our listeners, and everybody. We appreciate everyone. Thank you very much for liking and sharing and interacting and retweeting and posting
yes,
and things like that. Those are always great. See the stories and feel free to contact us if you want to converse about something. If you want to jump in and do a preview episode with us, something like that, please let us know. We're here. We love everyone, and we can't do this without you. Being here with you guys makes it more fun for us, and it kind of fuels us, keeps us wanting to do it.
yeah,
I honestly feel like past couple episodes that you and I have been on, we're just kind of like, because it's just we haven't had those moments of greatness, not greatness, but like recently where like there's those kind of awe things that are like kind of get your movement. So
yeah.
I think we're kind of waiting for that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just to add on to what you just said, yeah, thank you to all our primos, our listeners out there. The fact that, I don't know if you saw this earlier in the week, there was a tag out there with Evilise from AEW,
Right,
and to see so many people that support us, like, reach out and like tag her and tag us and say, yes, make this episode happen. When is this dropping? This and that.
right.
Bro, I was like, yo,
Yeah,
thank
it's
you,
great.
primos. Like, for
It's
real. That's
great.
amazing. So
Great.
thank you to each and every one of you, man. Like that.
Thank you wholeheartedly,
Yeah, it was
everybody.
dope.
Thank you.
It was dope. Still waiting on a response, but still pretty dope though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll
That
see.
takes time. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we don't have things coming down the pipeline. As always, we're trying to finish the year strong. So, just tune in, like, subscribe, follow the page, because we got
Mhm.
more coming, and we're trying to set up everything for, 2026. So I guess this is where I'll be like, Primo, you know what to do, because
Yeah, because we've already thanked everybody and done everything else. So,
yeah.
in true fashion, we will thank you very much, everyone. We will see you when we see you. Good night, people.
Yeah. Full of curveballs tonight. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Take care.
later, man.